Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing summer makeup. I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get right into it. Okay, so for summer makeup, we want products that are going to give us longevity. I'm going to start off with the brows. First off, I have the Anastasia Brow Freeze. This is what the applicator looks like. I really enjoy this one for longevity, especially in the heat. Where I live, it's really hot and I really do enjoy this brow product. But this one is such a game changer if you want your brows to last. And then I pretty much just like to comb the brow gel through my brows. And I do enjoy doing that laminate effect. I just feel like it makes my brows look fuller. This is a pretty flexible brow gel, so let's say it's been a few minutes and you don't like the way your brows look, you can still brush them up or move them or place them the way you want them to. I like to give it a few minutes and then I'll press them down so they'll last. And I'll just grab any brush or any tip of the brush and I'll just go ahead and push them down. Then I'll just brush them from the top just so it doesn't give too much of that spiky look. While that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and fill them up a little bit. I don't like to fill them up that much because I feel like I already have a dark eyebrow. My favorite products that I love to use for brows, which is so quick and easy, is the Maybelline Brow Pen. And this one's in the shade Ash Brown. And it has a point felt tip applicator, which makes it easy for hair-like strokes. Then I like to start in the middle. I don't start too much towards the front, which I feel like it's gonna make my brows look too thick. And you can see it adds a little bit of a difference compared to this brow. You can see it adds a little bit of like shaping and color. That's why I really do enjoy this brow product. Now the brows are done, let's move in with eyeshadow. I'm going to take my Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. And this is such a great one if you want your eyeshadow to last for a long time. I feel like this base helps for my eyeshadow to not crease. I do have oily eyelids and I definitely recommend this primer. Just to add a little bit more coverage, I'm going to add the Tarte concealer. For eyeshadow today, we're going to play with the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. This one is their Major Dimensions 3 palette. This is one of my favorite palettes for everyday glam. It's just such a staple palette. It's what it looks like. You can see you have all the neutrals. And today I'm going to be playing with more of the warm eyeshadows since it's perfect for summer. Okay, I'm going to start off with this color right here as my transition. And I feel like I want to do something monochromatic. Usually for that look, the best way to do it is adding whatever blush you're using into your eyeshadow. I might be doing that today, depending how I feel. And just really diffusing that into the crease. I'm going to move on into the second shade right here. Just really adding more depth into that crease. I don't want to do nothing too crazy. I just want to do like a soft eyeshadow look for summer. Okay, I'm going to add more depth into the outer part of my crease and I'm going to go ahead with this shade right here. I'm really just focusing that in the outer corner of my eye. And you can see how it starts to add more dimension and depth into the eyes. And then ever so lightly just bringing it into the inner quarter. Let's add a little bit more depth. I'm going to apply the last warm shade of the palette, which is this shade right here. And just really focusing that into the lash line. Poke out and add a little bit of a liner. I'm going to go ahead with this brown right here. And just really stamp that close to my lash line. I feel like this would definitely be my summer vacation makeup. It's just so simple, but also like put together at the same time. Like you can't go wrong with this palette. If there's one palette that I would take for summer vacation, it's definitely this one. It just, you can never go wrong with the shades, and I feel like you can be very versatile with what looks you create. Okay, moving on to lashes. I love going in with a more fluttery lash, and these are one of my favorite lashes. These are the Kiss lashes. They're in the style Bare Affair. These are my favorites for every day, or if I want a light lash, a light fluttery lash. I just really like this one. Okay, I will be putting them on and I'll be right back. Okay, lashes are on. Let's move on to complexion. Usually for complexion, I like to go in with more lighter weight products, but it just depends on the mood. If I want to go in with more glam, I will go in with a more long wearing foundation. We're gonna go in with skin prep. First product I'd like to go in is with these Glow Recipe for smoothing drops. It just helps with the smoothness of your makeup, and I like to apply this in the T-zone. Now I will say this won't make your makeup last on the T-zone. It has lasted me for a while, but if you really are looking into more longevity, I do suggest going in with a more mattifying primer. I have dry skin, so I don't like to go in with too much of mattifying primers, but I do look for a product that can give the same results. To add a little bit of more glow into the skin, I like to go in with this is their super glowy gel, and this one's in the shade Warm Glow. I do about like one pump, just like that, nothing too crazy or too much, and just really focus that in the outer part of my skin. Okay, usually for summer, I love going with skin tints, especially for everyday. It's just great and it's lightweight on the skin. Today, I do want to recommend a foundation, which I am going to use today. It's the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. This is such a great foundation. I've used it in the heat, I've been to parties, and it has lasted me such a long time, and I will usually just break down around the perimeter of my nose, which is normal. Like, nose can tend to break down more easily. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. When I do glam, I always go with this one, and this one's in the shade 330 Medium Cool. I like to do about one pump, two pumps. And I like to apply two pumps and just slowly build up the coverage. And when it comes to makeup application in general, I love going in with tapping motions. It just really ensures that it doesn't lift the makeup out of your face or lift product up from your face. Anytime that you're applying makeup, always make sure that you are tapping in the products into your skin, ensuring that you bring it down into your neck so it matches and it flows better with your neck. It's such a beautiful foundation. Like, I feel like if I would have to choose, I kind of prefer this one over the Armani one. I know it sounds crazy, but something about this foundation does not separate no matter what. It just doesn't separate on your skin. You know how you get all of these weird like separation, it just starts breaking down into your skin, and this one does not do that. That's why I just love this one. I feel like this has to be my favorite high-end foundation. It's just that good. It's long wearing. It looks so good by the end of the day. It's just such a good one. I definitely recommend this one 100% every single time. Every single time there's a Sephora sale, I definitely recommend you to pick this one up because it's just beautiful. Like, look at that. Like, let me zoom you guys in. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. It gives this satin glowy finish. It's not too glowy, it's not too matte. It's just that perfect in between, but it just looks like butter on the skin. I I just love this one, definitely recommend. Okay, so let's add a little bit of warmth into the skin. I love going in with the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. Also, another great tip, if you want your complexion products to last all day, I definitely recommend going in with cream products and then topping it off with your powder products. It just really ensures like that longevity, and it's not gonna fade away. It's just a really great product to use. So just really adding this wherever I want warmth into the skin. And this is such a one of my favorite bronzer stick, and it gives this beautiful bronze into the skin. Like, look at that, it's just so pretty, and it blends so easily onto the skin. Also, another way that I like to apply this product is grabbing it straight from the stick and then going right away. This really just melts in the product into your cheeks. And then using the other side of the brush to blend that nose contour. For me, it's just more so like color and a little bit of shape. Okay, so I've been loving all the peachy vibes, the orangey vibes for makeup, especially for the summer. I'm going to use the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush, and this one's in the shade Joy. These are very pigmented. I really recommend starting slow with one dot. And you don't have to apply it directly unless you know how to blend them out. I do recommend applying it in your hand and just kind of pre-warming it in your hand. And I'm going to blend it with their Rare Beauty blush brush, and I'm going to use whatever I have in my hand, just really pre-blend it into my hand, and then just go ahead and blend it onto my cheeks. And you can see that is very pigmented. Really great tip I do recommend when it comes to like pigmented blush is that you start with your cream products and then you go after with concealer, and that's going to be like an eraser for your blush, and it just makes the liquid blush look more seamless. Yeah, so don't be scared to use vibrant colors like these. There's always ways to correct it. And just brushing it on top of my nose to give that sunburnt look. And now that we've laid our base products, let's go in with concealer. For concealer, I love going in with a more satiny, long wearing type of concealer. Of course, I do make sure it doesn't feel too mattifying because I do have dry skin, so I love a good hydrating but also long wearing concealer. These two are my favorites. This is the Dior concealer and the Hourglass concealer. This one in the shade 2.5, the Hourglass in the shade Sepia. I'm gonna go ahead with the Dior, and you just need one dot just like that. You don't need a lot when it comes to your under eyes. This is also going to help prevent creasing in your under eyes, so just don't apply too much product. And I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass one. It's more lighter than Dior, and just apply a dot in the inner corner. I'm going to let that sit just a tad bit before we blend it out so it's not too liquidy or it doesn't spread too continuously. Okay, let's go right in. And you see how it blends so beautifully into the blush, and it's not heavy. I definitely recommend going with one dot, and you have less chances of having your concealer to crease. I'm going to add a little bit more just to have a little bit of more coverage. Whatever's left, I like to blend it into my T-zone and on my chin, and back with my blush brush and just really blending out the edges of the liquid blush with the concealer. Okay, now let's set the under eyes. Now, if you have a light or a brighter concealer, or if you go with brighter concealer and you feel like you want to tone it down, I definitely recommend going in with a darker powder. It doesn't matter what powder it is, whatever works for you. Going in with a darker shade, especially like a more of like your skin tone shade, it's a great way to tone down the brightness under your eyes. I usually like to do a combination of like brightenings or translucent powders or regular powders just to really smooth out my under eyes and give that perfect brightness. I'm gonna go in with the Kosas powder, and this one's in the shade Comfy. Just really lightly set the under eyes. And you can see how it kind of toned out a little bit of that brightness. Again, I don't mind the brightness, but sometimes I do want my brightness to look more flawless. I do recommend doing this step. And just really making sure that I'm setting into the inner corner of my under eyes. Setting down the T-zone as well. Okay, now that we've set the T-zone, I don't know if you can tell, there's still some sort of glowiness peeking through. So usually that's when I go with a more mattifying powder. And one of my favorite mattifying powders is the Huda Beauty one. This one's so perfect, especially for the summer. You want your makeup to last, I definitely recommend this one. Again, this one's in the shade Peach Pie. And I'm going to grab that powder and really set the inner corner of my under eye and just do a little mild baking. Oh, that's baking under my eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and lightly set the perimeter of my face. This just helps ensure that when you go with your powder products, it doesn't move or live. The one I'm going in is the Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Powder, and this one's in the shade Honey. This is such a favorite. I've been using it for such a long time. It just never does me wrong. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey. It just gives this lightweight feel onto the skin. I like to go in back with my powder puff and just really press that powder under my eyes. Okay, next up we're gonna go in with bronzer. I love this Kosas bronzer. There's a product that literally screams summer. It's this one. It gives this beautiful color and bronze into your face. You'll see. I'm going to apply this bronzer, and this one is very pigmented. It can be buildable, but at the same time it can build up really quick to become pigmented, so I do recommend being careful with this one. I'm going to apply one side of my face so you can see how beautifully the bronzer is. This one has a natural glow into it, which I do like, so it's not like a flat matte bronzer. So you can see the before and after. It's very natural, but at the same time pigmented. Builds up very beautifully. I really enjoy this bronzer, and I definitely recommend, especially for the summer. You see, it just looks so beautifully bronze, and I just highly recommend this bronzer from Kosas. Okay, so for blush, I really want to match my blush with my eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this Pat McGrath blush palette. I don't think they have this available anymore, but they do sell this shade individually, so I definitely recommend that orangey shade. It's called Electric Blue. This is such a great way to match your liquid blush with your powder blush, and this blush is very pigmented. I definitely recommend building it up. And you see how pigmented it is. It's so pretty. I feel like that's such a pretty color for summer. And I like to dust this just a little bit on my forehead just to bring cohesiveness into the look. Okay, and for the glow, I'm going to add this highlight right here. And this one's in the shade Nude Nectar. Just to add a little bit of glow to give like that natural glow from within. Okay, let's finish up the eyes. I'm just going to use the same shades and smoke out my lower lash line. Again, using all of these shades and applying it in my lower lash line. Okay, I'm going to add a little eyeliner moment. This one is from LA Colors or LA Girl. This one is in their shade Brown. This is such a great way to add depth and a more of a pop of color for your eyes. And I'm going to take that brown shade again to smoke out my under eye. I'm going to go in with their Limitless Lash Mascara from Ilia. I really do enjoy this mascara. It really elongates the bottom lashes. I'm going to add a little bit of that same highlight into the inner corner for that pop. We're gonna go in with lips. We're gonna do orange. I'm gonna start off with the Anastasia lip liner in the shade Mauve. And whatever's left from the powder puff, I like to set in my lips. These are one of my favorite high-end lip liners. They're so creamy and they just last really long on the lips. I'm going to blend that lip liner out. Let's go in with the lipstick. This is the Laura Mercier Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick, and this one's in the shade Fire. This is what the color looks like. It's a bright red, and I feel like this is perfect for the summer. Really dab this in the inner corner of my lips. It's a very bright color, as you can see. It's so pretty. This is such a summery lip color. I definitely recommend this one. I'm going to blend out the edges. Such a pretty orangey red orange color. I love it. Fits so well with this makeup look. I'm so happy. Last step, we have setting spray. These are my two favorites when I want longevity. This is to help melt in the powder products into my skin, and this one is going to help with the longevity. And this one is the NYX Make It Last setting spray, and I really do enjoy this one. Spray it away just to make sure, and then let's spritz. And next up, we have the One Side setting spray. This is their Until Dawn setting spray. Be careful with this one. This one is a very heavily strong setting spray, so when you do apply this, I do recommend you closing your eyes. But this is such a good one. This will literally keep your makeup in place all day. Okay, you guys, and that is it for today's makeup look. This is my summer glam. I really like the way it turned out. It's just so nice and beautiful and warm and orangey. I love these type of tones, especially for the summer. It literally matches with my top. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I do. I hope you guys enjoy this makeup look as much as I do. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for every single one of you that has subscribed to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Let me know down below any more ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next time. Bye.